What's going on, everyone? So, Summer League has officially come to an end, and now the Lakers can start heading in that direction, right? Summer League was looked at as like, hey, Rob, this will give him an opportunity to really sit down with people, go over various trades. Right? There were the reports that came going into Summer League that like, hey, Rob's going to be very active, right? Engaging in these conversations, which it's easier, right? Not on the phone, not having this like back and forth, right? You get to sit down. It's more relaxed, right? You're joking. You're kind of shooting the, you know what? Like it's not as intense, right? You're not kind of cooped up. It's more casual than, when you're in your office and it's like, all right, it's go time. You like, smacking yourself, like looking in the mirror, like, oh, you're Rob Pelinka. You got this, right? Like it's a different world, right? And so hopefully he was able to get some stuff worked out, right, that can now carry over into the offseason because he still has a lot of work to do, right? Summer League is great. Get to evaluate some young guys. Bronny was a real standout, right? Real gem during that Summer League run. Night and day from year one to now. I love to see it, right? Dalton Connect had his struggles, but all of these things are things that Rob Pelinka needs to see, evaluate, right? Okay, Bronny, there might be something there with Bronny. Ooh, Dalton Connect not look good this Summer League at all. The defense didn't improve. Like, he looked worse, right? So does Rob look at that and go like, hey, I might need to move off of him like now before he starts to decline, right? Like, and guys that, Arthur Kaluma, Darius Baisley, how unfortunate is that? Seriously, it's like he was a guy that might have put Rob in a tough position where it's like, man, I got to bring this guy on. Hopefully, at least keep him under the Lakers banner, right? Bring him in on a at least a G League. I don't know, depending on, you can't bring him on a two-way. So you're not, and I don't think you bring him on the main roster. I don't know if the Lakers would have brought him on the main roster regardless, but you bring him on at least under the G League squad, South Bay Lakers, kind of let him rehab or whatever. Or if the injury isn't significant enough to where he can get back in, say, 2 months, right, to where he can kind of make it in time for training camp, maybe he gets another opportunity, right? So Rob's got to evaluate and go through all that. Fine, right? But now it's go time. Now you wave Shake Milton. We got today is the final day to wave Shake Milton, depending on when you're watching this video. It's very possible it's already happened. I don't think that the Lakers are going to keep Shake Milton. I imagine he is going to get waived. Be a little shocked if they do guarantee him though. I think that signals, and again, I could be wrong, it's just my thoughts, because it doesn't make sense to keep Shake Milton, right? Unless you have a trade that's in the works, right? You got to keep in mind, Rob Pelinka has been doing, the Summer League thing, has been doing his due diligence, has been talking and making relationships and all that stuff, and now is going to go, and if there was anything that developed, you're further discussing that, you're working on that further, expanding, right? Or maybe you kind of had a spit in the handshake deal while you're heading back to LA, finalizing that. So it is possible that, with Shake Milton, maybe the Lakers need to keep him for a trade. Now, I've seen people that have been like, the Lakers, there's no reason why the Lakers would trade him. There is, right? Again, if you're doing like a salary, like if you can get the same result for Shake Milton that you would get from waiving him, but incorporating him into a trade to clear salary, right? To kind of open up the roster spot, but also land a maybe higher end piece, right? Like let's say the Lakers wanted to land a, $23 million guy, right? It's like, okay, well, you could do Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleba. That is, $22 million, right? Okay, well, you kind of need to clear the rest of that. Is this guy worth adding a Dalton Connect in? No, it's not. Okay, let's add in a Shake Milton. You clear the money, you get the salary, you get off of your guy that's long-term money. Like, again, you don't know what kind of trades are being made, what kind of things are worked out. Teams want to get off a salary, right? So it's like, Shake Milton, $3 million, we'll take him on for the year. I'd rather have that, and then he falls off the books, everyone falls off the books. Or if we have to cut him and buy him out because his contract's now guaranteed, it's better to buy out $3 million than it is to buy out, 22 million or whatever, right? So again, there could be the potential that the Lakers end up making that move. I don't think so, right? My money would say no, right? But I I'm confident that we're going to get an announcement at some point today. If not, it's already happened, depending on when you watch this video, that, hey, Shake Milton's been waived. So I think that'll be kind of the first domino, and then boom, everything kind of, like, you got Summer League, Summer League's over, boom, Rob Pelinka's can, if he hasn't been able to pull anything off, get back into the lab, get back to work, get his head down. Hey, let's start making some moves, start making some phone calls, let's start having these conversations. As you start inching closer to training camp, right? Prices start to come down. Guys want to get off of guys more. Because, like, right now, it's like, teams aren't in a rush to trade guys. Like, if the deal makes sense, then yeah, they'll do it. But it's like, hey, you want Andrew Wiggins right now, it's going to cost you Rui, Dalton Connect in a first. Right? But you get closer to training camp, all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, fine, we'll do it for Rui, Gabe Vincent, and Dalton Connect. Right? Boom. Trade gets done. And now the Lakers still have their first, can make other moves. Right? And it's very possible that nothing's there right now. Like, maybe you're just kind of doing a consolidation trade. I don't want to see the Lakers do a consolidation trade just to consolidate, right? Like, I don't want, like, hey, here's Gabe Vincent and 3 pick swaps. Like, I don't want something like that. I'd prefer it be something like, hey, we're getting Matisse Thybulle, right? But they're taking Maxi Kleber and a Gabe Vincent, so they're helping us clear, or they're taking, Shake Milton or something, like, we're clearing an extra $5 million through just like the transaction or whatever. I prefer something more like that, where you're getting a guy back, you're clearing up a couple raw spots, clearing off some salary for the biannual, and you can start getting the ball rolling here. You also got to keep in mind, every other team are all at Summer League doing the same stuff, going through the same things, right? It's why it was quiet. Like, the only thing that really happened was like Dame signing, right? Like, it just, because everyone's busy, like, everyone's focused, like, it's one thing at a time. Like, I'm not on the phone all day making trade negotiations and conversations, because again, I'm busy evaluating these players and walking through and having meetings, making spit handshake deals and, building relationships and going through all this stuff. I don't have time to be on the phone all day trying to negotiate a specific deal, right? Like, unless it's something where it's like, hey, let's get this developed, like the Nico Harris situation. But again, even that was like an outlier thing. It's like teams want to focus on one thing at a time. Like, we're focused on, the event. You're building relationships. It's a great place to go and communicate, right? Like, I've been to a bunch of summer leagues over the years, right? Like, I've had some great experiences, some great conversations, and met some great people, right? Like, you have those dialogue, you have those conversations, you have those things with, the rest of the league. And, you have guys like Rob Pelinka that are, again, meeting with other GMs, kind of building those relationships that he has with like a Nico and, a Sean Marks and stuff like that. And now you go in and now you start trying to put those relationships to the test, so to speak, right? It's like, hey, man, great conversations. So what did you think about, and you're throwing out guy. Like, what about this guy? Where are your head at this guy? So my hope is, because again, I don't know, I'm just a fan, just a guy, right? But my hope is that now Rob Pelinka can really buckle down, start, first step, get off of Shake Milton, buckle down, kind of make that transition into, hey, let's start gearing up, start making some trades, making some moves. Again, I want patience. I don't want, I still don't think you like overpay for guys. I don't think like, okay, we're back for Summer League, so let's make a trade to make everyone happy. Like, I don't think it's anything like that. But now you can kind of focus on, okay, that's the next step. Okay, who are our guys that we're doing? And I'm not saying that necessarily like today we're going to have a trade. Today, Shake Milton should be waived, and maybe they sign a Kogi or somebody like that in this place. And it's like, oh, okay, boom, there's the point of attack guy and stuff. It's all going to be a process. I mean, like I said, teams aren't in a rush to trade guys necessarily. Right? I wouldn't be surprised. I know Andrew Wiggins is like off the table right now. Don't be surprised if, as we get closer to training camp, all of a sudden he's back on the table and the Lakers are back in conversations with Miami about Andrew Wiggins and stuff. Because it's usually how it goes. You get closer to training camp, teams go, okay, now we need to really start making some decisions. Okay, now, like, do we really want Andrew Wiggins going into the season? Are we comfortable with that? Yes or no? Right? And sometimes it's yes. Right? Sometimes it's like, yeah, hey, stick to our guns. We have the trade deadline if we really want to get off of them. Let's kind of give this a little bit and kind of see and evaluate, right? And then sometimes it is like, you know what? Let's get our coach the guys that he's going to run with. Because again, you got to keep in mind, coaches don't want to trade in the middle of training camp, And they don't want to bring in 3-4 new guys and send out 3-4 new guys. They want to know, like, okay, what is our roster between now and the trade deadline? Obviously, if something crazy happens and you deal with it as a coach. But for the most part, right, like if you don't want to bring in Rui, Gabe, and Dalton Connect in the middle of training camp or, right before preseason or something like that. That's why there's usually not trades in the first few months. Right? Like you can make trades basically from the moment your season ends to, the trade deadline. You have essentially 10 months out of the year, right, to make trades, and you can make it whenever you want, right? Like, so there's no like rule that says like, oh, 15 games in, we can't make a trade. You can, but teams don't want to do that because, again, they want to kind of see and evaluate and spend the, first 40 games, 35, 40 games, kind of seeing where you go, and then you start getting into like, late November, December, and then you see like that trade get done or, here and there, right? Like, it's the same thing. But let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you like this video, hit that like button. Else but not, if you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.